welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup and Fude brushes. Today we have another episode of A Bunch of Brushes, which is my brush series that runs every other Sunday. So today we are going to be talking about Chikuhodo, and we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the more luxe brushes from Chikuhodo, some of the pricier ones. And that's because right now, Visage USA actually has a sale going on until June 6th with the code GLAM25. And I will leave that down below in the description box. I'm not affiliated in any way. But basically, if you spend $250 or more on Visage USA, then you get 25% off. There are a few brushes that are excluded, but you may be surprised that some of the pricier brushes are actually not excluded. So there are some good opportunities there. So I already placed my first order and just received it. So I haven't washed those yet. I'm going to show you what I ordered. And it's actually, it's not a super interesting order, but, I'll show you that. And I'm also going to share with you some recommendations for things that I have bought during some of these past sales. And in addition, I also have a brush from Chikuhodo that I actually won in a giveaway from Fude Beauty. So I'm going to share some details on that brush so you can see that, because it is available at both Fude Beauty and Visage USA. Now, just a quick note about the retailers. Today I'm talking about the sale at Visage USA. Their prices are typically going to be a few dollars more expensive than some of the other retailers. Their minimum shipping or their minimum threshold for free shipping is also lower. So I think theirs is $110 to get free shipping. Meanwhile, Fude Beauty has cheaper prices or less expensive prices on their brushes. And they also carry many other brands as well. So I will share with you some of my favorites for that in another video, because I have been trying out a few new brushes that I purchased from them that are really nice. So anyway, their free shipping minimum is something like somewhere around like $350 or something like that. So it's, there are pros and cons to each, and it kind of depends what you're ordering from. So today I'm specifically going to be focusing on things that you can pick up at Visage USA. However, if you're also looking for things that maybe are not Chikuhodo related or some brushes that are not available on there, you may also want to consider Fude Beauty as an option, provided, at least in my opinion, that you get to the minimum threshold for free shipping. Fude Beauty also has a rewards program. So if you're on there, make sure you sign up for that. All right, so moving on, we're going to start off with my order. So again, I haven't washed these yet. And actually, let me backtrack a little bit. Let me just show you how these brushes come. So each brush comes in, a plastic bag. It's got the little sticky tape here. And this is the symbol that shows you that it was actually made in Kumano, Japan. So this is your little Fude label. And then inside, it's just all the brushes come in this box. It's like, really thin cardboard, nothing special or anything like that. You've got bubble wrap in there and some foam as well. So your brushes, I've never had an issue with any damage or anything like that. But I just wanted to show you, because I know some people are thinking that they're going to get like a really luxe box with these brushes. That's not really the case for most Fude brushes. There are some that come with a nice brush, and I will share one in particular with you today that does come in a very nice brush box. But for the most part, your Fude brushes are not coming in any sort of spectacular packaging. All right, so back to my order. I ordered this. This is the Chikuhodo PF4 brush. This is a new brush. It's undyed goat hair, and I have to say it is so soft. The Sonia G undyed goat hair is very soft as well. This feels softer. So I'm very impressed so far with just how soft it feels. It's dense. You can see here the type of movement that you have with this. I'll show you on the back of my hand as well. Okay, so this is a buffing brush. Because it is undyed hair, you can use this with creams, liquids, or powders. And honestly, I may use this for creams. I haven't decided, but I really wanted to look for some buffing options to like buff in like powders and blushes and things. So that's why I purchased this one, and it does, you know, have a small handle like this. So, and I also got mine engraved. I got mine with the ATLB, the All Things Luxury Beauty. You can get your brushes engraved for an extra $2. One of the things I wanted to know is just that it came with gold engraving, which surprised me. I thought it was just gonna be black. So I thought that was cute. So this, you know, this brush, we had a discussion, All Things Luxury Beauty on Clubhouse. So I decided to get it engraved with that to kind of commemorate the discussion. I just thought it was cute. Another face brush that I picked up is the Chikuhodo T3. Now the T series is, you know, undyed goat hair as well. It's very soft, very luxe for, you know, it's a nice series. I don't have all of it yet. I want to get the whole series at some point, but this is actually the foundation brush. And my typical foundation brushes, like here's the one I use today. This is the Chikuhodo buffing brush. You can see the size difference here. This is the Chikuhodo F04, which again, you can see the size difference. I typically prefer to use larger foundation brushes. So I actually didn't buy this for foundation. I bought this for cream blush. So cream blush, contour, you know, I specifically bought this for cream products, but you can use this for powders as well. I think it's cute. It's soft. I really can't wait to try this out. Now, one thing I want to note, if you look here at the edges, they are very, very ever so slightly rounded. So it's not going to be like totally, you know, like a straight cut per se. You've got a little bit of gradation right here at the edge. So like you've got a hair that goes maybe to here, and then it very gradually curls over. So I think that's one of the things that makes it feel a little bit softer on your face. And the other brushes I picked up are all eye brushes. So I actually did not have a Z11. I have tried them before because I have a friend who has one. I've always wanted one, but for some reason it's just never made the cut when I'm placing an order. So I ended up picking up two of them. So I picked up two Z11s, and this is squirrel hair, very, very soft. It's a crease brush, and yeah, so I grabbed two of these. Just in contrast to a couple of Sonia G brushes, you can see that the Sonia G handles are going to be longer, and then the brush heads are actually a little bit shorter, and the shape is, you know, it's just a little different, mostly because of the length of the bristles and so forth. Also, the Sonia G's are a little bit wider. This is going to be a little bit thinner. And this one here is the Sonia G Blender Pro, and this is the Crease 2. So just a little bit of a size comparison there. Can't wait to try these out. It's like a cult favorite. And then the Z series actually doesn't have their brushes labeled by number on here. So I don't remember which one this is. I will put the name of this down on the screen. I think it's like the Z8, but this is the pencil brush. So I picked this one up. And again, this whole series, the Z series, is squirrel hair. And just in contrast, this is the KZ08. So you can see that the Z series one is going to be a little bit more of a point to it, whereas the KZ is a little bit more round. And yeah, so that's this. Another brush I picked up is the Chikuhodo GSN-10. This is another crease brush, and you can see that, you know, it's not going to be like super big and floppy. This I thought would actually work well for more hooded eyes. As I am getting older, you know, that crease area is getting to be a little bit more challenging. And so you can see that this is a little bit of a smaller crease brush. So here's the Z11 in comparison. And yeah, so we're gonna try this out, see how this works. Now the GSN series, they have long handles. So here's a Sonia G. Sorry, I actually used this one today. You can see it's dirty, but you can see the difference in size. So Z series from Chikuhodo, Sonia G in the red, and then the GSN-10 in white. So if you like long handle brushes, the GSN-10 or the GSN series in general is a great one to look at. And then I still have two more eye brushes. I picked up the Chikuhodo T6. This is the large eyeshadow brush, and I have all of the other eye brushes from the T series, And I have to say, this is bigger than I thought. For me, I was thinking I would use it for like one and dones, but I think it's gonna be a little bit too large for me for that. So I think I'm actually going to perhaps try it with the new Lisa Eldridge Cream Highlights. So that's what I'm going to test this one out with. But I think this one is more comparable to some of the Sonia G, like the mini cheek. Let me show you that. So Chikuhodo T6, you can see again the size difference in the handles. But here's the T6. This one here is the Detail Pro, and then this is the mini cheek. So you can see that, the shape is more like an eye brush. It's a little bit more dense, not so like airy and loose, but size-wise, the head kind of falls right in between these two. And then the last one that I purchased is the Z5 from Chikuhodo, which is a large shader style. I was thinking that the T6 would actually be more similar to the Z5 style. Just a couple of comparisons here. These are both from Chikuhodo. This is the KZ6, which is my favorite of these like larger shader style brushes. And then this is the FO5. Yes, FO5. And just so you know, the FO series, this Silver Fox, these are available during the Visage sale. The KZ series, whatever site you get it from, it is not available for any sales or promotions. So that will always be excluded because it's really rare and hard to get right now. So you can see that, let's compare the KZ. So this one, it's just special. It's a really great brush. But you can see that the movement here is slightly stiffer in the KZ5 versus the KZ6. And just the actual shape here, you can see that this is going to be more narrow, more straight here, whereas we've got a little bit more of a gradation of the bristle hairs starting from about here, okay, and it's wider. So just some differences there. Now with some of the more luxe brushes that you may pick up from Chikuhodo, you get a brush box, okay? So this is, I'm not sure kind of what it is, but it's that really light, kind of like maybe balsam wood or something like that. And yeah, so you've got this light box, and this actually had like cardboard and everything in there, like an insert to properly hold this brush so that it didn't move around at all. And we're talking here about the P8. I've been using this one all week, so this one's a little dirty right now, but look at the size of this brush. This brush is very expensive, but if you can get this on sale, then to me, that would be worth it. So I picked mine up during, was it the last 25% off sale from Visage, I think. So I picked it up at the beginning of this year. And this is a powder brush. It's not always available. I don't mean that it's one of those ones that comes around every few years, but they make it in small quantities because to get brush hairs this long, it's gonna be, it's a little bit harder to get. So that's one of the reasons this brush is so expensive. You do have these very long, soft hairs here. Okay, so these long hairs, these are squirrel hair, and you can see that, it's not gonna be super dense. Again, part of that is because it is such a large brush head here, but you can see it's gonna be about like this for density. Look how big this is on my face. So the reason I got this is actually for loose powder. This brush comes with a little cup holder as well. So you can keep it in here. And I got mine engraved with my name. So there are two fonts you can use on Visage. There's Times New Roman, like I used on the PF4 brush. And then this one is called Amazon BT. So Times New Roman versus Amazon BT. And if you look at their site, they do have limits on how many letters or spaces you can use. You can also use like Japanese characters and things like that. So this is a P8. If you are interested in a brush like this, I would definitely recommend waiting for a sale to get it. It's not always available when there is a sale. So if you see it, it's available and there's a sale, then pick it up. And that's what I did with this one, because for me, I think that's kind of like the sweet spot for my maximum, the sale price. So I wouldn't pay full price for this, but I think it's a great brush, and it puts down loose powder in such a soft veil of finish that you never have like that powdery look, and you don't have issues with it kind of like grabbing on to certain spots of your face, and you're still able to get that really light look. So I really like this brush, and I would recommend this on sale. Now, another brush that I would recommend, and this is the one I actually won from Fude Beauty, so thank you so much to Fude Beauty, but this is the Maki 2 brush, the MK2. And there's a whole Maki series. I don't have any of the others at this point. This one has, these beautiful cherry blossoms on here. I was very happy to win this because it made me think of my grandmother, who she recently passed away, and the giveaway was like basically on her birthday. So it was kind of fortuitous, and she was always obsessed with Japanese art and cherry blossoms in particular. So it was just kismet. So this is a powder brush, but I actually have been using this for blush as well, if you want like a soft veil. So on my face today, I have the new Pat McGrath in Electric Bloom. That's a really bright coral shade. I used this to apply it. This is super soft. Again, it's squirrel hair, and this works very nicely for powder. You can see that this one is going to be a little bit more dense, but it's, again, not dense like a buffing brush. This puts powder down really well as well. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you are using something like squirrel hair and let's say your foundation is still damp, you don't necessarily want to go in right away with a brush like that, because you don't want to mix creams with it. So if it's still wet, maybe wait a little bit. Or, actually one of the things I like about the P8 is it doesn't really have to come into contact too much with your face. I mean, look at that. You can barely touch it and still get what you want done. Whereas something like this, you're gonna come in contact with your face a little bit more because it's not as airy. So just something to note with that. But I usually use this for blush or finishing powder. So that's gonna be my primary purpose for that. You can see how beautiful this is. All right, and then just some other recommendations that I would have. I think in general, for me, I always try to buy my brushes on sale if possible, especially for Chikuhodo, since Visage does do these sales periodically. I try to kind of save up those brushes for that time period. One of my favorite series that is available during the sale is the FO series, which is Silver Fox. I have the entire series. And again, these can be engraved as well. This is the FO3 brush. This is the FO4. If I were to make a recommendation, if you wanted to try one from that series, my recommendation would be the FO4. This is a great brush. I personally really like to use it for bronzer, but it's also narrow enough. You can use it for contour, you can use it for blush. I think it's great. And until this brush, I actually didn't really like angled cheek brushes. This is the first one that I really loved, and it's made me revisit some of the other ones, and this one is still my favorite. So this and the, sorry, that's my hair, the Chikuhodo Lunar New Year one, if you were able to get this. And these are my two favorite angled cheek brushes. I just think this one though is something special. And if you're looking for a really nice powder brush, I also, I'd be remiss if I didn't recommend this FO1 brush. This is a really nice powder brush as well. And one of the things that's great about this is Silver Fox, which, again, you want to use with powder products, but it's not going to be quite as delicate as a squirrel hair. So some people actually do use some of these Silver Fox hair brushes. For example, the foundation brush in here, some people do use that with cream products with no adverse effects. So, it kind of depends who you listen to. Some people recommend it, some people don't. I personally don't use mine with cream products, but if I'm trying to add setting powder and I'm a little worried that perhaps things are still damp on my face, that's when I would go for this. So if you're looking for something for setting powder, this or undyed Go Hair would definitely be my recommendation. This is softer though. So you're basically looking at the softness of squirrel and almost the versatility of undyed goat hair. Not quite there, but definitely much more versatile than the squirrel hair. So if you're looking for a setting powder brush, I would recommend this. And my last recommendation is going to be the Chikuhodo T11. Again, undyed goat hair. This is great for like cream products in general. I use this for serum style foundations. I think it's really great for that. I also use it for cream bronzer, contour. You can use it for cream blush and so forth. Personally, because of the shape, I prefer it for contour and bronzer or foundation. I don't use it for blush that much. But I think this is another great brush, another one of my favorites. And that sums everything up. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. Again, I will leave the information for all of this down below in the description box. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.